Hey, what's up everybody? Joseph here again. I said it like that because it hasn't been, what, maybe 10-15 minutes since I cut and I'm doing the next part of the work in progress. Got the orange on this guy, and it's kind of the effect that it gives. No, I'll have to check this video out later to see, if you guys can even tell on screen. And the next part that I'll have to do is kind of detail some stuff out. Is this dry? Oh, it's dry enough, okay. Okay, so next part of this is I shot the silver, so it's aluminum. I keep calling it silver. I mean, it looks silver. I want to spray the two side by side and see exactly which one's different. I think the aluminum has coarser particles in it. Anyways, so I shot the aluminum and I put the orange on and I cleared it. The reason why it was so quick and I was able to start on this video so quick was, like I said, I'm using the airbrush. Not the airbrush, hair dryer. Caution, if you use it, it can warp parts. I was looking down here, I don't know if it is or not, but it kind of looks like maybe these kind of went inwards. I don't know. So just really watch it when you're using it. So my next step of this would be panel lining. If you never panel line, it's not too terribly hard. It'll take a little bit of practice, especially if you're making the panel line solution yourself. There's a lot of different ways you can panel line. When I first started panel lining, I think the ones on my unpainted kits I just did with it wasn't even a Gunpla marker, it was a tech pen. These ones, the brand's coming off of it, I bought, and they bled too much when I was drawing. I didn't like them, but to line those worked awesome. But when you start to paint, you really can't use the pens and the markers like that. So I went and was using acrylic paint, cheap acrylic paint, thinned down. And when I mean cheap, I mean cheap. It's the cheap craft acrylic paint you can buy for like $1, maybe $2. And I was trying to get down the enamel panel line wash, which that's what I'm going to do here. And I bought some, and I thought, oh, I'll make a big mixture, huge mixture, right? And all this stuff, and I ruined a whole bottle of enamel paint, and it was bad. Well, one thing I found out was I bought it was gloss. It wasn't a flat, and the flat works so much better for this. The gloss was kind of bubbled up and didn't break apart. It's like right now I'm using gunmetal actually for the detail instead of black, and it's cool because it's constantly moving. It makes these cool little ripples inside the cup. I would show you, but when I tip it just goes one side, you really can't see it. Things I found out with panel lining. Oh, first thing is you want to make sure you have a gloss coat. I've just been using Future Floor Pledge. It's cheap, you get a lot of it, and it works good for in-between coats. plus enamels, lacquers, and stuff doesn't really eat it up, so it's alright. Let me kind of have this kind of settle down because I just put it in and it's going crazy. It's really just that easy. But some tips is your ratio of this, you want a lot more fluid to paint, and you'll have to kind of experiment and play with it. Use Zippo or the Ron Sol brand. It's made by Zippo. Lighter fluid, and mix it up, and this will start to settle. Right now I'm just moving around like crazy because I had it pre-mixed in the bottle and I poured it in here. When it settles, just kind of don't mix it around, actually. Just dip it in and pull it, and you'll pick up paint with it. And when you do that, you just dab it in. And you'll use capillary action, which, if you haven't seen that, what you do is, let's see, get it here. I hope you guys can see this. And it just flows right down. Now, you might ask about, well, what about the spots on top? Let this stuff dry. Enamels take a long time to dry. Let it dry as much as possible. Let it sit for a day or so, and come back, and you take a Q-tip, put some lighter fluid on it, and just go over the top. Don't dig in to what you're doing. Just it's like go over the top, and it will come right off. Another thing I found is you can hit it like, say you have a spot right here. If you're good, it takes some practice. I don't even know if I can do it right now. Boom. Just moved it off of there. There's a little bit of cleanup, but not like it was. It takes some practice. And I'm not like the expert on panel lining here. I'm just going off of, you know, what I've seen, what others do. Come on now. I just remembered this piece is a separate piece, so I'm trying to panel line the sides. It's just going underneath. Whoops, my bad. It'll be alright. It's no big deal. Let's see. I'll flip to the other side. And some people don't like panel lining. I like it. It's kind of enjoyable. Put on some music. You know? Relax. Sorry about any background noise. I do live in Southern California. There's a lot of people. Boom. Let that kind of set up for a minute. And that's it on panel lining. Another thing I want to try to hit, want to let this dry just a little bit more, filling these because I want them nice and dark. Capillary action at its best. Good stuff. Okay. So I want to hit these little thrusters here. It's pretty dark around. What I'm thinking about doing is maybe hitting it with that with the flat steel, and then going back over it certain spots with the copper look that I have. Make sure I like everything here. And you just hit everything just one more time. One thing I found out too is if you have a spot that it's just not running good, clean your brush off, take some lighter fluid, just run it down that spot, then take your panel line mixture, hit it, and usually run right through. Something I've just kind of picked up, and I don't think anybody I've heard has really shared that one, so you know, that's the hard thing. I wanted to do videos just because, not really any reason. And, you know, on art and modeling and food. And it's hard because I ask myself, it's like, well, what can I contribute to that you either already haven't heard or that can be new, you know, that you can't just find from somewhere else, because I've seen a lot of just good videos out there, and that's kind of hard. That's why I hope I get more viewers here and start telling me, hey, you know, ask me questions, can you show me this, can you show me that, you know, what about this, have you ever tried that? Just take my brush off real quick. Cut out. Let's get this older guy here. It'll happen, you know. On the top, I've had 4 views on a video. Woohoo! Maybe I can look back at this one, you know, someday and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I only had 4 views. But let me flip this over. Alright. Let me get this. What I want to try to do here is get the very center middle here. Sorry if I'm off camera here. Now really, if I wanted to, I can make a panel line solution of this up and do it. But I'm choosing the harder approach. Just take some patience over time. That's what that looks like. Okay. Some silver, steel, whatever this is on my finger. Make sure I didn't get it on the rest of my model, which wouldn't have been no big deal. One thing I would always recommend is when you paint, say when you do a layer, and especially if you really like how it's looking, go ahead and clear it. Do a clear coat on it. Clear that sucker out. That way, if you do something else on top and you mess up, you have a better percentage of saving your work without having to fully just scrap it. Alright, let me take this. And this is the flat brass. I actually really like this color, actually. Now, one thing I've seen when doing enamels like this is kind of wipe, some off. Dry brush it on. Give you some cool effects. We're trying to get a nice hard color, so I'm going straight in. Oh yeah. Looking good, looking sexy. Okay. So that's what I got right there. Let this dry, and come back, clean it up, and do decals. I have a helmet right here. I'll probably cut this soon because it's kind of long, especially for what I've just shown you. I have a helmet I gotta clean up, do decals on. I'll probably skip him in the work in progress here. And yeah, see you guys later.